Welcome to Your Number Man. Now, this is the podcast where we explore financial strategies, business insights, and real life stories to help you grow your business with clarity and confidence. I am your host. My name is Johan, and my purpose is to help business owners build smarter, stronger, and enjoyable businesses and live a bigger life through them. Now, I'm very happy to say today we have two amazing people in the studio that's doing exactly that. Together, they run a very efficient and strong business in South Australia, proudly South Australian, Tandem Energy. And it's a consultancy helping organizations with the energy and sustainability management. Their names are Rachel and Tom, and I've been working with them for 5 or 6 years now. We work together in the hub, and I still can't pronounce his surname, Brdanovic. Brdanovic. Okay. Well, welcome, Rachel. Happy to have you here in the studio. That's fantastic. It's actually the first time we got a hub member in our Gawler studio. Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy. Yeah. If you and thanks for the cookies. I said it's going to be like Joe Rogan, this podcast, and then I brought some cookies. But it's all yeah, it's Dutch, and I always say, if you're not Dutch, you're not much, eh? So that's great. And welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no, that's great. We're gonna talk a lot about energy and business and all the kind of challenges that you might sometimes see in small business owners, because you actually do work a lot with them as well. And you are a small business owner. You got a decent team here, and you're also very good business partners, but also very good life partners, as you married, and it's going very strong from my observation. Yeah. Well, okay. Enough about me. Rachel, just give me a short elevator pitch about yourself and your business.
Sure. So I was born and bred here in South Australia, and always energy and sustainability have been a real kind of interest and passion for me. So since forever, I've been interested. Since I was a checkout chick, I used to tell people, did you know that these spray deodorants are bad for you? And I went back to university in, mid 2000s to study my Master of Sustainability. And in the idea that I would start a business in sustainability. And I met Tom at a course, actually, when we were studying. We were learning how to be green. What do they call them? Home sustainability assessors or something like that. So we met at that, and started our business together. As we met, as we started our relationship together. So we've pretty much been working together the whole time we've known each other. So we started our business. We first called it Down to Earth Sustainable Solutions, and then I think it's about 10 years ago now, we changed to Tandem Energy with a bigger focus on energy, although we've now broadened back out into climate and carbon and those sorts of things.
Yeah. And that's when I first met you, actually, when I think it was back then when I had office in Tanunda.
Yeah.
Then you came and had a chat with Brad.
That's right.
Remember Brad Reynolds? He was also on the podcast, actually. And I had a very interesting discussion with you, because it's sort of like in my line of business as well, helping people to really focus on their efficiencies and really push your margin. Although we're all small business, we've all got our own purpose in life. It's not always about money, but we've got to be careful about our margins, make sure that we're sustainable, profitable, and obviously energy-wise as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We always say what I'm sure that you say is you have to understand your numbers and you have to watch them all the time. Like your energy numbers, you need to understand what you're paying for energy, when you're using it, how you're using it, all of those things, which is exactly the same as for your money. I mean, it's more important for your money, obviously, but it's the same principles.
Excellent. Now, Tom, okay, well, we have a great introduction from Rachel. Just give us a bit of background from you. Well, like me, you also haven't been born in this country and also got a bit of an accent about you.
That's right. Like I don't have an accent for myself. I can't hear it. But other people tell me that they sometimes don't understand me. So hopefully your audience will sort of manage to understand me. Otherwise, we can sort of make some other ways.
Put some subtitles on
Also something.
podcasts.
We'll put some subtitles on.
Yeah.
If they can understand me, they'll definitely understand you.
I think it's, Rachel explained quite a bit about our business. My role within a business, I would say it's more like of a technical nature. So I like kind of looking for those savings and the numbers that, like normally get misinterpreted by the end user or ignored altogether, because like it's very important when you make your investments in renewable energy or any investments to kind of track and monitor how that investment returns. And for many people, I would say at the beginning, like buying, for example, solar, it's buying energy ahead of time. So you have to make sure that you consuming that energy that you purchase at the installation time. So in terms of what I do, I think that it was a mutual decision for Rachel to become a CEO of our company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she speaks English, I speak
Chief Expensive Officer. Yeah.
well.
And she's chasing the money, and where I understand you're very much involved in the operational part.
I'm a kind of I have many ideas, as you would know.
No,
But
too much. Huh?
I just got like sometimes you have to have a reality check with Rachel if that is really what people need.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're talking about your business now, but just for curious, because a lot of my listeners will already now be texting me, so where's this Tom from? Give us a bit of background on your history, just for.
Yeah, I was born in former Yugoslavia. Now it's Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I would say that I'm from Bosnia. And I came here in 1995 as a humanitarian refugee. And since then, I've been learning English, and and I couldn't stop but learning more about investing a lot of time in self-development. So I continuously trying to be better at what we do, and I've been living in Goa since 2010. For the last 15 years, enjoying the small places and kind of very much interested in local economy. And in a way, like contributing as much as I can to the local, community, and trying to kind of repay some of the good deeds that they did and accepted me in this country. And I'm Australian, like I've got Australian, citizenship, and permanently now living.
Yeah. Like you eventually got your citizenship like me, and then you got to stand in front of people and they got to ask you one question, and who's Donald Bradman?
Yeah.
And if you can say,
how many sixes?
and they and they'll give you a little flag.
Yeah, I got my flag in Brisbane actually. I lived in Queensland before. Yeah, coming down to South Australia. So with the 6-pack of Forex, I celebrate my succession through a kind of a Queensland style, like snack and then
a 6-pack and a snack. Yeah, now these days we only got a snack. We don't have 6-packs anymore. Anyway, that's great. Right. So we talked about the energy audits. Well, we didn't really talk about. I'm actually quite interested to see, because I know what some of your clients got to go through when they're doing the energy audits and the sustainability strategies. Now, if we're going to put the net zero thing, we're going to talk about it later. But just going for a company going through the energy bills, and they're doing the sustainability sort of spreadsheet, and I mean they learn a lot about their business actually. Yeah, it's
we usually say when I do energy audit, our job is to ask questions that no one has ever asked before and that no one knows the answer to. So it's always good. Great pride when we stump them, because sometimes it's just like, what does that switch do on the wall, or who turns all the lights off at night? And so one one site I remember when we spoke to the receptionist and she said, oh, the security people come, when they come around at night, they turn off the air cons and the lights and they turn them back on in the morning. We asked the security guy, he said no.
Huh.
So the lights and everything were on all night because the receptionist just assumed that someone else would solve it. So, yeah, I guess that part of our process is helping them understand and find out things they didn't know. And then, primarily teaching people to understand their energy use better.
Yes. And it's the same what I always, people think they got a good understanding of the business, and a lot of people have.
Right.
But once you sit down and you go through, through the numbers and look at their margins and their cash flow, and it's like people sitting down actually have, spread it all out, unpack everything, and they get a better understanding of where they're going. So just like me, you guys you don't want to be control freaks, so you don't want to put trying to get your clients to become control freaks. You just want them to get the value for the buck. What I always say is, once you put $1 into your business, you want $1 back with interest or with return, and much return. It's because we in business because we love it. We all got a beautiful purpose to do. But at the end of the day, we want to keep going and sustainable and inspire people. And
that's it. And we always say you can't eat thank yous. As nice as they are, they can't buy you dinner. So you have to make sure you're getting paid and money in your business. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. And I guess you guys are making decent money because you're able to employ a decent team of interesting people. You've got a good team culture as well.
Yeah, we try to be a pretty relaxed approach to running our business. Maybe too relaxed sometimes, Tom says. But, we want a culture where our staff are happy to look forward to coming to work, and they enjoy the work that they're doing, and they enjoy the company.
And it's very important because it's so hard to get good people, right people. Now, specifically your field, because talent, is very hard. Good talent is very hard to find these days, isn't it?
Yeah, we try to now, kind of grow our own talent. And try to sort of see if, maybe this is also a platform to look for more people. Because, like we need people.
So we do a shout out.
We need the people that are interested in, like sustainability and, savings, technology and all that kind of stuff. And, like rather than young people flipping burgers and working sort of mundane jobs, they can work for Tandem Energy and do a bit of a spreadsheet and, like a bit of more analysis and that type of work. Because it's, like we're realizing more and more that, every company will use like business analytics and information to kind of for their own benefits and for decision making. That's the day-to-day kind of work that we see lacking with each business, because we depend on information to provide an advice. Information is very hard to find.
Yes, that's what I found as well. It's to getting that right data.
Yeah.
And then you got to interpret it, and we can use AI as much as we like, but sometimes you need a human behind that numbers, isn't it?
Like there's a lot of people collecting information. Yeah. But that information sits on their computer. It's not shared between like on a common, server or like a drive where the other people can access it. And let alone talking about being consolidated into the one, useful spreadsheet or workbook. So it is, that's one of the challenges. And I think that's kind of what I think that the business has to learn to consolidate data and,
and that flows
part of our business.
Yeah. And that flows through. So obviously financial is really important. Understanding your energy use and your energy flows is important. And then depending on the size of the business, the carbon emissions and other sustainability metrics as well. Like it might be great, you might recycle this much of your waste or do whatever, but if you're not recording those things, then it makes it a lot harder to tell that story too. Which is, getting more important for people to be able to talk about their sustainability.
Yeah, and Rachel, what do you reckon is the most common roadblocks businesses face when they're trying to implement sustainable practices? From a mindset point of view,
Yeah, I reckon that there's two things. The first one is just the knowledge, right? So the first thing is around, they don't really know what's sustainable. And this is what a lot of our clients say to us. when we come to talk to them is we want to do this, we want to put solar on, but we also want to, put some water tanks and we've been thinking about whether we should upgrade this bit of equipment or that. And so trying to understand which of those is the most impactful financially and also the most impactful environmentally, that's usually what people want from us. And that's the challenge they have. They just don't know. They might have, run a supermarket and your your refrigeration service provider might say, oh, look, if you put a heat recovery on here, it's gonna make it more efficient. But they don't tell you anything about how efficient. And so that's the bit where we can come in and go, well, that's going to cost you 20 grand, but it's only going to save you $1,000 a year. So it's going to take itself 20 years to pay back. Is that the best thing to do or not? So that's the one roadblock, is around education and just knowing what to do. And then the other one is probably around staff, I would say. Like, creating that culture like we just spoke about, if you've got staff, where everyone is thinking about it the same way that safety is everyone's responsibility. How do you make sustainability and sustainable resource use and all of those things part of everyday business? And that's also a challenge. Yeah.
It is. And like you say, it is communication and education.
Yeah.
Make sure that you lay out all the facts to the client.
And make it easy as well. So that's so we're finding as well that there's a lot of that behavior change, culture change element in some of the stuff that we do. So even putting signs on things and having SOPs and clear instructions, it helps people to use equipment safely and properly, but also to use it in the most efficient way, which is what we're looking at.
That makes sense. Yeah, and it's all efficiencies. Tom, what do you reckon? Is there when you think about resilience and the growth mindset? So you've worked with many different businesses. What traits or habits do the most? Is there any traits or habits that you can sort of align with businesses that you work with that's common?
In terms of inefficiency, I can tell you that it's kind of a very seasonal. So I can sort of see that over the winter times, that there will be air conditioning running after hours, for example. That's quite common. And, when people buy technology, they're excited about technology for maybe a couple of months, and then that excitement wears off. They would probably realize that 3 months down the track that maybe solar system isn't working because the bill is higher than before. So like that, a little bit of maintenance is always kind of an issue. People don't maintain equipment because they think, it's only 5 years old. Why would I touch air conditioning at all? Or, solar panels used to be, or like solar systems in general, used to be sold as a no maintenance kind of equipment, but things happen to the panels. We had a hail a couple of years ago and panels get damaged. If nobody's looking, then, production will be reduced. And, there's so many other things that we currently purchasing on top of all the technology that we have, like batteries and EVs. And people didn't even get a head around their solar system in terms of how it doesn't operate properly, and they bought another 2 pieces of technology that they don't know how to manage.
So what you say is the people that's the most efficient with their energy projects are the people that actually come with you with a plan.
I think sometimes it's more reactive. I think that people would like to kind of be seen as they're doing the right things, and they're purchasing all this equipment without actually fully understanding the system and ecosystem that they're actually generating and how they can coordinate that a little bit more seamlessly and get best value out of it. So that's
okay. So it's some people would think, I'm gonna follow the government's protocol, and I'm gonna show I'm this greenie par excellence, and I'm gonna buy all the solar panels, all the batteries, all the electronic vehicles that are on the market, and just to show that or some other people would actually do it from an efficiency point of view.
And I think,
Yeah.
so sometimes you get sold something. So quite often, solar salespeople are like the worst, the best, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They're very good at selling people something.
It used to be worse,
And,
but it's getting better.
Now, I've got
and-
a few friends in the but anyway, now I
Yeah.
hear what you say. Yeah.
And so they buy something
Yeah.
without fully understanding what it is, and then they buy something else because that, maybe it didn't bring their prices down as
Yeah.
much as they thought or whatever. So understanding what you've got, which is the same with any equipment or any, I guess, new change you made to your business, you have to understand what the impact of that is on your business before you go do something else. Like if I say, oh, I need a new staff member, and then I go, oh, wait, all the work's still not getting done, I need another new staff member, without working out, well, is it because the first one is sitting there, on their phones on Facebook all the time? So you have to understand each thing and not just keep accumulating. But I was going to say, in terms of growth mindset, we deal a lot with businesses that are family owned. And so that can be good or bad, because sometimes they can get a little bit stuck in their decision making, but sometimes it means that you're talking to the owner and to the person who's got the interest. So when they see the value, they can just make it happen. And I think that's the real successful businesses we work with. They'll listen to you, they'll make sure they understand, and they say, yep, let's do it, let's make it happen.
And you got to but when you run a project, you would follow up with a client a few months later as well to see how they're going.
Make sure
ideally that would be the case, because we realized that, we were doing a lot of energy audits, and we sort of realized afterwards, once we followed that customer or client, that, they wouldn't be doing much with the audit. It would just sit. So we actually now try to reframe, because it's not only, work is not only finding the issues, it's like resolving them so they can see the benefits. So like seeing off your project and being implemented, or like your suggestion being taken and sort of implemented in a process is kind of what we want people to do, not just buy, advice.
And we had fantastic feedback from one client, local government that we worked with. We did an energy audit at one of their sites about 18 months ago, and I spoke to them about, we've done some more work for them since, and they said we're gradually implementing what you said. We think we've saved almost $100,000 on energy bills so far based on your recommendations. So that was very nice to hear.
That's all right.
You should ask for a percentage, right?
Yeah, and it's well, I mean, if it's like a just a normal small business, that's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
But even a decent size,
Yeah.
I mean,
What you can do with 100,000,
Yeah,
Well,
I'm pretty sure you're making that CFO of the place very happy.
Exactly. But even for small businesses,
Yeah.
we do a lot of work for the City of Adelaide. So they've got a energy and resource assessment program. So they offer free assessments for small businesses. That's a plug. If you're in the City of Adelaide, go and get up. And we do them on their behalf. So we get out to a lot of small businesses. And sometimes it's just as simple as looking at their electricity bill, running it through Energy Made Easy, which is the government website, and you might save them $500. And yes, for a smaller business, that's a big amount of money, and can make a big difference.
Yeah.
So there's definitely simple steps people can take too.
Great. Now, before we started this podcast, I said, let's take a few pictures that we could, because we were all happy, we all smiled. Now, I don't know how this is perhaps me, I don't know if I'm trying to be a bit confrontational here, but I don't know, perhaps I'm a little bit skeptical sometimes about what is it, is all the, is the sustainability that narrative, is it driven by politics? Is it, I'm saying a climate act is probably a real thing, and we got to be careful, but sometimes I just wonder, because I mean, I think Qantas is zero net or net zero.
Everybody can buy net zero.
Yeah, because I flew back to South Africa last, and we stood on a runway and we dumped probably half an hour. We stood on the runway and dumped a lot of fuel because they reckon the airplane's too heavy. And then we flew, all the way there, all the way back, and you can feel, you can see. But then again, you're planting more trees, you're putting up solar fans, you're putting up wind farms. So
And I think that,
yeah,
there's no perfection. That's the challenge with like sustainability or, the big picture is that we use too many resources and whether that is because we're eating biscuits in the studio, or whether it's because as a business, you're not, you're machining stuff and then you're throwing out waste because you haven't got your systems down pat or whatever, or, fast fashion, whatever. So we're producing more things than we need and people are consuming more things than they need. So we need to do less of that because we use more resources than the earth can provide. So that's the truth. Climate change is happening. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Can an airline be carbon neutral? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, no. At least they're trying and, whatever you get, like, you don't get plastic wrappers on your things.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. I just thinking about when you get all this lunch, all the food they offer you. I just think there must be acres and acres of dump holes, to dump the stuff.
Exactly.
So,
but I think sustainability, and we try to take such a practical approach with our clients that that saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of better.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, yeah, sure. Like you're not going to walk and swim to South Africa, right? Like, so your choices are, you don't go, he's thinking about it.
I've got a dugout canoe there,
your choices are never go there.
Yeah.
Or, go some long, torturous way, or accept that you're going to pollute while you do it. And at least maybe Qantas can try to do a little bit of stuff.
Okay.
So I think this is.
So we got to keep on trying. Yeah.
And, yes, there's plenty of greenwashing and there's plenty of things.
Yeah.
Tom's going to say, you can't get a word in. It's just like,
no, I just wanted to add, it's all about efficiency. Yeah. In my view, a lot of things are just alternatives to the normal stuff. And people don't kind of, they're busy doing what they're doing. Yeah. They don't kind of follow the trends and understand what's alternative to the things that they do. Alternative to grid energy is solar electricity. Is so that's kind of, and how that energy is utilized. So I'm more about sort of finding the waste, minimize the waste, and sort of advising the client of alternatives and how they, they already purchase all the equipment. Sometimes you see that, and that equipment is not working for them. It works for whoever designed the building or whoever designed the, that environment, but they didn't sort of consider who is going to be operating in that environment. And then we come around and question why the certain settings are applied. And if you do this, you'll be able to save on other kind of parts of the build that, it's not just energy, it's network and all other.
And that's probably why you do that audit, to make sure you're not just going to buy solar panels for the sake of buying solar panels, that you actually use them and see how it offsets your, your pollution perhaps. Because
it's minimizing, sometimes it is like minimizing, I would just want to say one more thing. For example, when you're talking about, pollution and carbon, a good example is air conditioning, refrigerants, for example. You have air conditioning that is quite old. The refrigerant that you will put in that to charge that air conditioning unit becoming a lot more expensive because that refrigerant nobody wants to manufacture because they are phasing it out.
Yeah.
And it's also bad for environment. So those two things, environment pollution, is actually connected to the industry sometimes. And if you follow that, it's I don't want to service my air conditioning because the gas is expensive.
Yeah.
Your unit is too old to be maintained anymore and therefore is inefficient. So it's costing you more money regardless of what you do, servicing or running it. So you have to it's time to make an upgrade.
Yeah.
So you're measuring all those things and then kind of providing an options of what would be the one of the possible solutions and where they can spend money.
And I would say our clients fall into those there's two groups. One is, I want to be sustainable and I'm going to make sustainable choices, even if they cost environmentally sustainable, because everyone wants to be financially sustainable.
Yes.
And I'm going to make choices that cost a little bit more because they're environmental. But I would say at least half our clients are just like, I want to pay less. You know, like
Yeah.
the environmental stuff doesn't matter. And
I mean, solar
you
makes
know,
perfect sense. Yeah.
exactly. Solar makes financial
Mm.
sense. So does turning stuff off if you're not using it, right? That's way cheaper than solar. But
Yeah.
lots of times that's what I was trying to say before.
Mm.
Like as a business owner, even you might not realize that, well, when they go on lunch, they're leaving this machine on and it's continuing to work for an hour and no one's here. So you can save money by reducing or efficiencies, and it's got really nothing to do with the environment.
And you probably just want to eliminate the idiot factor first.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a lot of that. Oh, like Tom said, the tech. So clients, I mean, people are after a service, right? Like you want the lights to be on. You want to be able to see. You don't really care whether it's a fluorescent light or a LED or, a flame made of coal. You just want light. And so our role is to deliver the service that you're after, lights or cooling or whatever, as efficiently as possible. So
yeah. And I guess there's probably been a lot of studies about this as well. Probably people who's challenging climate active as well, perhaps, to see where does the benefits come in.
Oh, so by climate active, do you mean like being carbon neutral?
Carbon neutral, and been pushed by I don't know who pushes it. Is it the
government?
Well, it comes from United Nations that we by 2030 or what they want all companies to be, or 2050.
The difference between like carbon neutral is working out how much emissions you have and then buying carbon offsets to cancel them out, which is a bit like we just ate a biscuit. Now we've got to go ride on the exercise bike for 20 minutes to burn off the calories.
Good example,
as opposed to actually what net zero, which is about he eats the biscuit, which is about,
keep on talking.
which is about reducing your emissions. So if we didn't eat the biscuit in the first place, we wouldn't have to go ride the bike. And so the difference between polluting and then buying offsets versus trying to be as efficient as you can so you don't pollute, that's kind of like a truer carbon neutral.
What you take out home is, I know I'm going to ride a bike within a half an hour, so I'll have a whole biscuit. And that's like, there's the same, that's exactly what we suggest to our customers. If the sun is shining and you have a solar, make sure you consume all that energy that is generated at that time. So you get the most of that benefit because you paid for that energy at the time when you purchase your solar. So that's kind of
don't let it out into the grid for the energy.
Don't let it out, because you gave me a bit of an example yesterday, because it was raining cats and dogs. And you said, and I said, are you going to be all right? You're going to have, because I know you guys are all, all over it. And you said, it's all right. You got to stuff, and you sell it back, or you buy it from the grid if you want to charge your battery for something like 8 cents a kilowatt hour or something ridiculous.
So that's other good example of actually what exists in our sort of a new environment where technology is present, and different businesses and business models appear. Electricity retailing has changed a lot. There is like so many retailers these days, and the smaller retailers offer more more competitive pricing for the people with technology. And that's kind of also misunderstood with the industry. We are blessed that we live in South Australia, where a lot of energy comes from renewable source, and in most of the of the year, for example, from September to April, even May, sometimes electricity is less than zero in the middle in the middle of the day. And those smaller retailers kind of if they sell you energy for 8 cents, they're still getting margins because the energy is negative at that time. So they are paid to consume that energy. So I pay a little bit.
Because they can't store it, Otherwise the power station is going to.
So we don't have enough.
We in South Australia have to be encouraged to use energy in the middle of the day, and and that is government funds very hard to kind of provide signals that will tell people. Like you drive a car and you see like there is a traffic jam. What's happening? Diesel is cheap, and people line up for diesel. Like that should happen with electricity. In the middle of the day, we should all get messages. Turn your ovens, start cooking, do washing, dishwasher. Not many of those things happening, but we actually trying to
and that's why people that's creating all this appliances, they're putting it in.
Yeah.
That you can sit at home, get an app on your phone. You say, okay, start my washing now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably already there.
I mean, like we program all our equipment to run while we at work if we're not at home. So it runs using solar, or it runs with using very cheap electricity.
I mean, that's the biggest ticket thing I would say for small business owners is to query with your electricity retailer or go to Energy Made Easy, which is the government website. You don't get any meerkats ringing you up or anything like that afterwards to try and convince you to change, because it's the government website.
Yeah.
So it's called energymadeeasy.gov.au.
Easy. All right. We'll have to put it on the show notes.
Yeah, that's it. And just see if you can find a cheaper rate, because it uses your own data and it says based on your previous usage, you would be better off if you went to these people, and it would save you this much. And
so it's no sales, no nothing. All the retailers are obliged to put their stuff up there, so it's not just the ones that get a kickback or anything like that. So okay, no, that's good to know. That's really
the thing.
And it is about. I mean, if we take, there's a lot of people. Is it right to have lithium batteries? I don't know what the deal is with lithium batteries, for instance, but is it? A lot of people might ask you, is it good for the nature to go and dug out the Amazon forest to go and mine for lithium batteries, and you are causing devastation amongst the orangutans in Indonesia, or whatever the case might be. But sometimes you just got to trust that the information that you get out there is correct. I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
how do we know where to get the right information?
I think everything comes at the cost. Like even if when you look at the anything that is made from any material, if that material is coming, either it's mined in Australia and made in China, or it's most of the batteries and lithium batteries seem to be like mostly used for the cars because they have the more stable chemistry. So therefore, like you can have an accident and not ignite the battery. So they are like kind of have a good mechanical resilience in that respect. But like I know that a lot of people say, "Oh, what about those kids that are mining in Africa and all this kind of stuff?" The kids mine in Africa diamonds and all other things. Like I'm kind of oil. I think it's it's argument. Mining is a ruthless business.
Yeah.
Like obviously none of the miners are paid like according to the value of what they dig out. Especially in the countries where there is no unions or like the workers' right and stuff like that. I would say for everybody that talks about lithium, it's look at the the pollution, that car diesel that you're running. Like why in a car park? So I would just say that before, so we don't have arguments. Why in the car parks we have ventilation fans?
Like in multi-story car parks.
Is it
so we don't all die from petrol poisoning, carbon monoxide?
Okay, yeah.
If like some people die because they really want to die and they lock themselves in a garage with the running car.
Yeah.
So that means if we were all to run those cars forever, we will be living in a garage called Earth.
Yeah.
And I love technology, and I think the electric car is a good thing. It provides our country, Australia, a bit of more energy security. We are not dependent on fuels that come from overseas. We have plenty of energy. The only thing that we don't have, we don't make those batteries in Australia. And I think that's the kind of, like people will think differently if they work with the battery industry in Australia and they make lithium batteries, then, if we really want to talk about lithium, we can just go.
We talk about gold or diamonds or platinum or palladium, which is a lot of that in South Africa as well. And I've seen how poorly people digging the stuff out in the street, and then somebody might be hypocrites standing there with a big diamond ring and a gold chain telling you, oh, you can't duck out lithium batteries. Okay, fair enough.
Well, the thing is the oil, right? Like if you're going to think about the problems with a lithium battery and the mining and the disposal at end of life, you have to compare it to something. It's not like you're walking, the choice between just walking and breathing fresh air compared to an EV. It's driving a petrol car compared to an EV. And you have to compare those two, which is often not what happens. They go, oh my God, the lithium battery does this and this. It's like, well, what about petrol? Yeah. So it's one side of the story. It's like, if I tried to sell you and go, this credit card is great. It's only 3% interest, but you have to think about what you're comparing it with. Is it something that's 10% interest or something that's free? And
exactly.
So, not just standalone.
I would prefer that everybody runs everything optimally as long as it lasts.
Ride a bike, use public transport. We don't need EV.
Yeah. However, they grow your own food in the backyard, if you can, use rainwater instead of, if you can. I mean, there's a lot of rain the last few days,
I think we are not
19 mils.
Yeah.
We are not accountable. And that's kind of a half of the problems. People don't want to, like they're finding those little kind of nuances or whatever is catchy on the news. You just have to look at like what our needs are and how we can fulfill them and to make most of the money if you're talking about the business.
Yeah.
Like cut all the inefficiencies, improve efficiencies and use equipment optimally. And that's kind of comes either the car air conditioning or whatever you do. It's like my approach to problems always the same.
Amazing. Well, we actually going. I mean, that's a great debate. That could be a great debate one day. I'm not educated in this kind of stuff. It's very hard to be, to really understand everything. You got to listen to what a government say, what a greenie say, what your people totally on the other side were saying, and you got to try and really get the data out. So, but that would make a great debate one day. Yes, perhaps we can organize something like that.
We are more than happy to help your audience if they have any questions. We can maybe answer them.
Yeah,
and if needed, have a follow-up.
Yes, I would like to.
Episode.
I'll put it out there to people. Please comment on where you listen to on Spotify or YouTube. And send some questions for Rachel and Tom. It'd be great to. I'll also put your details on the show notes. Tandemenergy.com.au. Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, tandem.energy. Well, tandemenergy.com.au. But we just tandem.
The new website
energy is fancy. Yeah.
Tandem. Anyway, I'll put it down there. So here we go. www.tandem.energy.
That's us.
Okay, tandem as in bicycle for two. .energy. All right. And how did you come up with the bicycle thing?
Yeah, well, it was the non-English speaker here who came up with it. Because we work in tandem with each other, obviously.
Yeah.
But we work in tandem with our clients to deliver what they want. And we also work in tandem with their service providers. So we don't sweep in and go, oh, nah, your electrician's no good. Your air conditioning guy's no good. We work with who they already use.
Tandem, we pedal with you.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Isn't that... We gotta go to IP Australia right now. Or somebody, we pedal with you. I love it. Yeah,
definitely, it's about working together with people
and working with your wife, which and husband for that matter. Yeah. And it's interesting. I just said, some of a lot of guys actually of mine are married, married together and run a business, and it's interesting. I don't know how they can do it because it seems to me like, wow. I don't know where do you cut it off? How do you cut it off? When you talk about business, when do you talk about?
I talk always about business.
Yeah. He'll be like, what?
Does it knock you, wake you up? Oh, I've just got an idea.
Yes. Or I was just wondering about whatever.
Yeah.
But for us, we've been working together as long as we've known each other. So we don't
Yeah.
actually know anything else other than work and home blurring together. Like,
Yeah.
so it's always been like that for us.
But you're lucky.
It's probably not helped you, but
It's like I don't know. I don't know what kind of rating is the show.
Oh, I mean, if you want to know, it's not feed. Don't worry. If you want to say something, go ahead.
It's yeah.
Uh,
It's
I've dropped-
inappropriate, so
I've dropped a few F-bombs before. You go for it.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
think it's just
Yeah.
you know.
It's the cookies. It's the cooking tuning in now, isn't it?
I think it's more about
Yeah.
you know all those things like Rob from Polaris was asking, like, do you have a roles
Yeah.
within the business? I think like sometimes those things naturally developed into the roles.
Yeah.
So like, I'm more technical than Rachel. Rachel is more policy driven person than me. I just say, I don't understand how they can't do this. But Rachel said, well, we will create something that they can follow to do it.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of two major differences. But, like afterwards, we were mates before, and then we stay as a mates, like mates.
Oh,
But
that's
how I,
you
yeah.
and I.
yeah, that's how I kind of,
Yeah, mates. Yeah.
it's more like a mateship.
Yeah.
And then
Easy. Yeah.
business, and then
Yeah.
everything else.
That's amazing. Yeah. Mind you, I had a few mates in business before, but that doesn't always
Well,
feel
like
like yeah.
soulmate is more.
Soulmate. Yeah.
But I think you're right. What you said about the natural roles. There's some parts like we work on together in the business, and then other parts like there's some clients I've never been to, because I have to, right? And there's some that Tom hasn't, and so we actually we're not in each other's pockets every day, and we have
It's
different
like two
roles.
departments.
Yeah,
And it's great. And I guess you got to write sort of makeup as well in your business. You're not
and because we've got staff.
conflicting the whole time.
Yeah,
Of course, you're different personalities as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. That's great. Quick question, and I love what you said. And thanks for that, because it's important as well as people understand. Because there's a lot of people that's probably married and want to start a business together. So it is not. Yeah, it's don't always listen, because my dad always watch out. Friends and family don't do business with them, but you gotta gauge every kind of business partner that you got. Are you the right fit? Would you be the right fit? And be honest with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had, I mean, a few of our kids work for us at different times on different things, and most of our staff over time have kind of come to us as friends or people that we've met in circles
Yes.
already. We're all working with my cousin's husband at the moment as well, so I think it can work. You just have to set boundaries and expectations clear on them.
Yeah.
So
And you're very clear, like who's who in the business. You are more the administrative kind of in charge of finances, CEO of the business, where Tom's out in the field. Right. Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but we certainly, like, we're an executive. We have two roles. So, like, if I'm the CEO and kind of managing the operations and the CFO and all those sorts of things, and Tom would be the chief ops manager, but we're also both the board of directors.
Yeah.
And so we can take those two distinct roles where, when we have a directors discussion, we're together, we're talking about the direction of the business and where we want to take it, and the strategy, and what should we charge people, and all those things on that strategic level. And then in the day-to-day business, we've got those distinct roles. So we come together for strategy, and I said that seems to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some things you just love doing. Like I love going on the roofs. Rachel doesn't.
Yeah.
And like being more connected to these real problems and situations. Like I can tell electrician what the problem could be. Like so I'm not kind of just sitting on behind the desk or behind my computer and kind of dream about solutions for my clients. I actually go to the sites. I talk to their service providers, and really kind of engage in a solution they're making solutions. So
That's right. Yeah.
One of our staff says, you have to go out to the site. He says, I can smell when something's not efficient. It's like, yeah, not Tom, but yeah, one of our guys. So he's like, you can tell because, like it's burning hot or it's doing whatever.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah. I had a mechanic once. He would just listen. He said, start up your car, let it idle. Oh, yeah. That's it. They're so tuned in.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would like, and you can call him the mechanic whisperer. I'd like to, to listen to your financials and say, oh, yeah, cool. I'm the number whisperer, but,
Yeah. The number whisperer.
I don't know. I like to call myself your number man or perhaps the budget bloke or something like that.
Budget bloke. Budget bloke.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Quickly, just, I guess we sort of, in one sentence, advice, Rachel, for any small business owner out there want to start a new business.
They want to start a new business.
That want to start perhaps or already started. Okay, give me perhaps just a quick sentence or two.
Take advantage of the resources that are out there. So in South Australia, Office of Small and Family Business has heaps of like training resources and workshops and all of that sort of stuff out there. Go out, network. That's super important. And don't pay too much for energy. Come and see us for that bit.
Good. And yours?
I would just tell what my wife tells me. Is that what you want to build, or somebody needs that?
Yeah.
That's
So
the number one thing I think.
So what you want to build? So find your purpose in life.
No, it's not that. It's
find the product that somebody needs or solution.
A solution.
So don't just build what you think is a good idea. You have to build what someone will buy.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy a new coffee shop, make a new coffee, open a new coffee shop? How
research.
How that is different to any other coffee shop around in your area. What is your point of difference? And
make sure your business is viable.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah. Make sure people will buy whatever you make.
So that's kind of I listen, and that's why
Listen,
really working together. But
the best communicators in life are the best listeners, not necessarily your best talkers. If you want to be able to good communicator, you got to be able to listen. And
this is true.
Great. Hopefully, I've listened well to you and guide you through the interview. And you were great. Thanks. I really appreciate you coming in. Right. Well, I'll see you back on top pretty soon.
Thanks for inviting us. Yeah.
Great.
For the extended version another time, we can talk for hours on this stuff.
We can,
Yes. Somehow we can really party.
We'll have a party, or perhaps we'll do an invite to people.
Lucky it's not video.
So show notes, we'll put your detail on. People get comments down on the comment section. And also, just a quick mention, you mentioned Polaris. They are contributing a little bit of funding towards my show. So I just want to be a shout out. Thanks, Polaris, for sponsoring, for your sponsorship of my show. And I'll put your details below as well on the website. That's Polaris' detail. That's it. So
thanks again.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Johan.
That is me, your number man. I am signing off. Ciao.